everyone. Welcome to the Shipper TMS onboarding webinar. I'm Jess Kowalski, and I'm the sales engineer here at Super Dispatch. Today, we have Brittany, our Director of Customer Success, and two of our Customer Success Managers, Ray and Asal, joining us as well. We're here to give you all the tips and tricks on setting up your Shipper TMS account to make sure you hit the ground running and move cars fast. I've already introduced our team, so the rest of today's agenda is to walk you through the important setup steps of your Shipper TMS account. After that, we'll go through creating an order in the Shipper TMS and send it to a test carrier so that you'll be able to see what that looks like. After that, we'll save time to answer any questions you might have. Let's jump right into it. Feel free to log into your own account and follow along if you'd like. We will also be sending out a recording of this webinar, so you'll be able to refer back to it later on if you want to reference something we talk about today. The first step is to log into the platform. You can do this by clicking on the Shipper option from the Login tab of our homepage, or by going to shipper.superdispatch.com. Here, you'll enter the credentials that your account executive emailed you upon completing the sign-up process. If you can't find them, you can reach out to our support team via this chat button at the bottom of any of our web pages. Now that we're logged in, you'll see the main page for the Shipper TMS account, which is the All Orders tab. In the bottom left-hand corner, click on your username. This will bring up a menu, and we'll click on Profile. This is the page you will want to fill out thoroughly, as it's the information carriers will see about your company when you post loads to the Super Load Board. We found that the more complete your profile is, the faster you'll be able to find carriers and build up your carrier network, especially if you're just starting out. Starting from the top, you can upload a company logo so carriers can see a visual image of who they are working with. In the About Us box, I've entered information about the company, as well as our website, mailing address, and how long we've been in business. Next to that, I have a point of contact information. In this case, that's my info and how you can get in touch with me, both my email and my direct line. Next, you'll want to add payment information. This is not looking for account numbers or any sensitive information, but rather the information about how you'll pay your carriers for transport. You can see that I set my fields to check with a 10 business day term. You can also specify additional payment methods you can pay by, such as direct deposit, UShip, Venmo, etc. You'll also want to specify your carrier requirements. That can be done here in this box. This is the minimum requirements that carriers need to move cars for you. You can specify that you need to be listed as a certificate holder and a minimum amount of cargo insurance they must carry based on their trailer capacity. You can also list additional instructions, such as a carrier packet or other items here as well. Looking to the left, we can enter our bond insurance information. This field asks for the company, agent name, phone number, and expiration date. Beneath that, we can also add an order ID. This box is completely optional and dependent on your internal processes, but it allows you to set an order ID that will increment automatically with each new order you create in the system so that you don't have to number them manually. If you have a manual numbering process, you can skip this and enter them when creating the order. I have mine set with a prefix of SD, where the initial number starts at 203 and counts up. From there, you can also add references. These are companies and contacts that you have worked with before that carriers could reach out to get some information or hear about their experiences in working with you. I already have this filled out. That's my boss, Brittany, and our real Super Dispatch phone number. So if you have good things to say about this webinar, feel free to give her a call. We also have a field for terms and conditions. I'm not a lawyer and I don't play one on TV, so don't copy my notes here. And instead, reach out to your legal team for the text for this field. These are the terms and conditions that will be displayed to carriers when you send a direct offer or post a load on the Superload board. Finally, if you have Central Dispatch, you can connect your account to post loads to both our Superload board and Central Dispatch's load board. Moving back to our menu here, we will move to the next tab, which is the General tab. Here on this page, you can find the settings for the BOL template, inspection type, and time zone. I'm not going to get too in-depth on this because it's usually set by our Super Dispatch team when setting up your account, but I wanted to note it just in case you need to make adjustments down the road. If you have questions, our support team is an excellent resource for help. And again, they're available here in the right-hand corner by clicking this chat box. Beneath that, you can create up to 50 order tags. These can be applied to orders to filter easily. Common use cases for these are to mark specific lanes, mark certain orders as urgent, or even for tracking damages. You can click to edit the tags and simply add another tag, select the color, and name the tag. Back in our menu, we'll move to the next tab, which is SuperPay. This is a streamlined way to pay carriers automatically. And it's truly a great way to pay carriers quickly while having all the information you need to stay organized in one place. Since this deals with banking information, we won't get into setting it up today, but Ray and Asal can help you set it up today, or you can reach out to our support team later on. Just shoot them a message in our webinar chat. And don't forget to check out our help center as well. We have some excellent articles about using SuperPay. Back in our menu, we'll move down to the Superload board. This page allows for toggling load board settings, such as allowing Super Dispatch's verified carriers who meet your insurance criteria to instantly book loads. As long as they agree to the price, dates, and locations of the load as posted, they can instantly book the load instead of having to send you a request for it. This helps you move cars fast without having to respond to individual load requests. Super Dispatch takes double brokering very seriously. You can prevent unverified carriers from booking your loads by hiding them from any carriers who are unverified. This helps reduce potential exposure to double brokering on our Superload board. Back in our menu, we'll move down to our Manage Users tabs. At Super Dispatch, each user should have their own login credentials, as we will soon be adding two-factor authentication to our Shipper TMS product. This helps keep your data secure by reducing password sharing. Here on this tab, you can create accounts for any of your team members. Creating user accounts also helps you stay organized because the order activity logs will show which users completed certain actions in the order lifecycle. To add a user, click on this blue Add User button in the upper right-hand corner. This box will open with the required fields to create the user account. Back in our menu, we'll move down to the Managed Order fields. Not all order fields will be relevant to you, depending on your processes. Super Dispatch has made it easy to turn those fields on and off to keep your orders as streamlined as possible. You can click to open each section and see which fields you can turn on and off, including the customer field, as well as selecting the checkboxes. Once you've made those changes, go ahead and click Save. Back in our menu, we'll move down to the Notifications tab. On the Notifications tab, you can customize what information you'd like to receive for things like load offers, pickup and delivery notifications, and carrier requests. You can also set notifications for specific team members to receive via email as well. Click on Add Recipient enter their email and select the notifications they should receive. This is great, especially for teams who may not need to be active in the Shipper TMS, but need to receive things like billing information or pickup and delivery alerts. That takes us through all of the steps here on this menu. So we'll go ahead and back to our all order screen and let's take a look at creating an order. Since this is a brand new account, I don't have any orders created and I can click on create order here in the middle of the screen. Or I can also click an order here in the upper right-hand corner. Inside this order creation screen, we can see all the fields that we can fill out with order information. There are a few required fields to send an offer or post to the Superload board. The first one is the order ID. I can see this is already populated from the setting I had set on that profile for the order ID naming convention. The other required fields are make, model, pickup and delivery addresses, pickup and delivery date, and pricing. The cool thing about Super Dispatch is that I can enter all this information here on the screen manually, or I can also upload orders from a spreadsheet. Since watching me manually enter data and probably making a bunch of typos is not very interesting, let's take a look at how to upload an order. I'm going to go back to the All tab here. And to import an order, I'll click on Import Orders button here next to the Create Order button. There are some requirements for how a spreadsheet needs to be formatted for the system to accept it, but we made it super easy by providing an available template here. Click on Download Sample File to access the template. Once you've downloaded the sample file and filled in the order information, you can simply drag and drop it into the import box. We'll go ahead and do that. I've got a sample file here that I've dragged into the import box. The system will work its magic and it'll create the order for you. This is a great way to create multiple orders at one time. Now that we have a couple orders in the system, let's go ahead and open test 01. Even though I created this order with a template, I can still go ahead and edit it. Let's edit this order and update the delivery dates. I'm going to scroll down here and we'll set the carrier pickup dates and we'll set some delivery dates. And I'll go ahead and now, since we have updated those, I can go ahead and click Save and Send Offer. A box will open, prompting me to search for the carrier I'd like to send the offer to. I know my test USDOT number off the top of my head, so I'll go ahead and enter that now. Entering my USDOT finds my test account, so I'll go ahead and click on that, and then I can click Send Offer. Now this carrier has received a notification that they were sent an offer and can accept or decline it. The order will stay in pending status, which I can see here on the left, until the carrier accepts it. Then it will move down into this accepted tab. As the carrier completes the order lifecycle, the order will continue to move down these tabs from accepted to picked up and delivered. Orders will live in the Delivered tab unless you mark them as invoice, paid, archive, or delete them. Once you've finished setting up your account, you can check out these other tabs here on the left. We have Managed Carriers, Customers, Terminals, Dashboards, and Reports. We'll dive deeper into all this and more in our next webinar, but if this is something you'd like to learn about sooner than the next session, please send us a chat here in the webinar or reach out to our support team and we'll schedule some one-on-one time to go through this with you. This has been an overview of setting up your Shipper TMS account, as well as creating orders. We have some time to answer any questions you might have. All right, I'm just pulling up some questions here from our chat. All right, so let's see. Javier asked, you mentioned verified carriers. What is that? Verified carriers is a set of criteria that Super Dispatch verifies that carriers have. These are things like W-9s, insurance, and things like that. And we keep track to make sure that the carriers who are verified are current on all that information. That way, you know you are working with carriers who have all the proper paperwork in place. Alex asks, I'm getting some requests on loads that don't meet my carrier requirements. What am I doing wrong? In this case, I'd encourage you to look back at your carrier requirements in the profile and make sure you have everything outlined there. The second thing to do would be to take a look at your super load board settings and make sure you have it turned on to hide orders from carriers who are not verified. This will help you help prevent you from getting requests from carriers who don't meet your requirements. Let's see, Deanna asks, what is SuperPay and is it included in my account? SuperPay is a great and easy way to pay carriers quickly and efficiently while keeping all your records in one place. This is something that either Ray or Asal can help you set up, as well as our support team, and they can go through all the details on getting everything set up and connecting your banking information. And Ron asks, when looking at required insurance on a W-2 amount, is that per vehicle or total insurance coverage amounts? Oh, on +2, is that per vehicle? So when looking at insurance, what you can do when setting that up is you can specify how much insurance is required based on the trailer capacity. So 2+ would be more than 2 vehicles, and you can actually break down and set per trailer capacity requirements. That is in the carrier requirements section of the profile. And Urshad asks, how can you check a double broker? If you have any suspicions of double brokering or any concerns, we encourage you to reach out to our support team. They will work with our legal team to investigate and find out what is going on there and can help assist you through that process. Let's see if we have any other open questions. All right, and I don't see any other questions, but if you have any questions either after this webinar, feel free to reach out to us and our support team, and we will help you get those answers. And we'd love for you to stay in touch with us. We are active on social media as well as our blog, and we have an extensive help center of articles to help guide you. You can also reach out to our support team at any time via the chat button on any of our web pages. Thank you so much for attending this Shipper TMS onboarding webinar. If you have additional questions, you can reach out to our support team on our website, superdispatch.com. We'll send you a copy of this webinar so you can refer back to it at any time. After this webinar, you'll also receive a survey. We'd love to hear any feedback you might have on it. Thanks so much for spending your day with Super Dispatch.